got our podcast, thinking you should watch it. If you driving, man, it's good for you to listen. No, we keep it real. No, we spit it raw. Sports dialogue. No, it's good if I'm involved. No, we're not the news. We just cool dude with nobody to impress. Just talking our shit. Call it pressman coverage. Pressman coverage.
Welcome into Pressman Coverage, a podcast dedicated to you, the fan of a team who showed some fight, but ultimately got knocked the heck out. If you play Arc Raiders, you know exactly what I'm talking about. We're crawling, we're in last stand. Somebody cracks those knuckles. Hits you right in the mouth. All that loot is gone.
Back to Fernanza.
It's rough. It's rough, but we're going to break down the Saints versus Titans matchup. As always, talk a little bit of big picture behind that, and roll right into what happens next for us. But before we do anything, got to introduce the crew. Captain Cody Moore. Talk to the people.
How was y'all's Christmases, boys?
Man,
All was well here.
sugar and spice and everything nice.
Yep. I think I got.
You like that limb,
great...
yeah. I don't try to use that later on your lady, and then you try to act like you're that smooth. You know,
Yeah, he loved watching Powder Puff Girls growing up. Good God, we were men. We watched Ed, and Eddie.
Like Ed and Eddie taught me how to get it out the mud.
Hey,
That's all I know.
Rocket Power, all the good ones.
hey
But
man,
my Christmas was great, fellas. I mean, I got a lot of great gifts, but Randy gave me the greatest gift of all, and that's a mounted TV.
you know I got you, Cody. You know I got you, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, he needed the hands, the special hands. You call Big Daddy, man. We gonna come through.
Hey,
and
that's
get
a
it done
big
for
pause. Good Lord.
That's a little crazy.
You know? Yeah, pause it up. We're going off the hinges already.
Does sound like an interesting porno. Randy comes over, mount your TV.
Anyways, Sauce, talk to the people, man. How you feeling, Sauce? How you feeling before we have to start this episode over?
Hey, man.
How you feeling?
Hey, this is going wild, man. I'm good, man. Christmas was good. Spent some time with the fam, man. It was good, man. For me, I got one of the greatest Christmas gifts because we are confirmed that Cam Ward is the quarterback. You know what I mean? We got all the answers that we needed. That's all I wanted to see this season once I seen it was going downhill. We're there now, and I'm in a good spot, man. I can't complain, Right now, with the fourth spot in the draft, that's a little nasty, but I think it still gives us flexibility to, pick at will. So, other than that, I can't complain, man. But how about you, Lim?
Man, everything was cool, man. Got to kick it with the family. Wifey's family was in town, so spent a lot of time doing that.
Yeah.
My oldest has a birthday coming up, man, so we're able to celebrate him too. So all is well. I'm a happy camper over here. No complaints at all. No
Yes, sir.
complaints. Okay, man, well, let's dive into this game and talk a little bit about what was and what wasn't.
Hey, man.
What was a win and then what quickly became not. First of all,
Can I ask you a quick question before you get into it, though? So, what I was just saying with the intro, how do you feel now that we're currently in the fourth spot? Before we get into how the game went, right? We were still kind of teetering and tottering on the outcome and where we will fall in the draft order. How do you feel about being in the fourth spot currently right now?
Cody, I'll let you jump on that first.
I mean, I would rather be in the number one spot, but
Yeah.
I still think we're in Cardinal Tate range. I think we're still in Reuben Bain range, Arvell Reese range. So I mean, I think maybe trading out of the spot may be starting to get a little bit out of the question. I don't know. Many people are going to be trading up to 4. But it may start to be turned into a little stick and pick situation. But how do you feel about it?
Yeah, it was a little interesting for me, being in that fourth spot currently. And I'm not sure if, next week and losing to the Jacksonville will really alter it that much. But it feel like it puts us in a automatic stick and pick situation. We don't really get to play with the board and see. So I don't know. I'm still conflicted. If being in the fourth spot, I will say this though, being in the fourth spot, if seeing what Cam Ward can be and seeing him develop as a quarterback cost me that draft stock, then I'll take it. You know what I mean? I'll let Borgonzi do his job. That's what he get paid millions to do. Figure that out, buddy. But Yeah, let me pass it to Liam. How do you feel, Liam?
You know, I didn't want the team to tank the season away. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like, I'm not a fan of like, hey, let's just go out there and put on a losing effort. I think when you have a rookie quarterback, you don't necessarily want that to happen. I think at this point last year, everybody was out on Will Levis, so we were
yeah,
scratching and
yeah.
clawing and like, hey, do everything you can to get that first round pick. We don't care what happens because our
We
team,
gotta have
we
it.
have no young talent. It felt like, which we essentially didn't. And now we have some building blocks. And yes, would I love a trade back scenario? I definitely would have. But in the same breath, that trade back scenario probably is going to put us around where we're going to pick anyway. So at least the player won't be much different and obviously we're not getting the picks and stuff in return, but the player we get will be around what we were going to get regardless. And I think quarterbacks still go 1-2 based on how the draft is falling right
Yeah,
now, or at least 1-3, depending on what happens next year. But either way, 2 picks before us is going to be a quarterback, and I think we'll be able to pick up an edge rusher we really like, one of the top two, or the top wide receiver that we like. So I think it puts us in a good spot either way. Sure, would I love to be in a trade back position? Yes, but I will take the trade off of being able to see some promise from multiple young people, not just Cam, over these last few games.
hmm
That's kind of where I sit with it. You know,
Let me let me ask
yeah.
you two more
Mhm.
things, and then we'll roll. Does next week does it alter that much? I'm not sure if the Jacksonville win or loss alters our
Uh,
position.
if we win, the lowest we could fall is 7. That might have changed, with the games that are happening. But right when our games ended, the lowest we could fall was 7.
Okay,
And unless like a miracle happened, we were still going to be at 4. We would need the teams that have 2 wins. There's nothing we could do with them
nothing we
right
can.
now.
Yeah,
So 1 and 2 are locked up when it comes to us. We could move to 3. I think it's the Jets. What is the other team with 3 wins? That right, Cody? They would have
I
to win
think
a
so.
game.
Yeah.
They would have to win their game. That's the only way
would
we can
you?
move up. So we're basically at 4.
Got you. Look, my last thing, and then we'll roll. I promise. If you're at 4 and you're Borgonzi or the Titans, do you entertain trade talks if somebody wants to move up, or would you still just stick and pick best? If you got pick of the litter of what we're looking at, like obviously we're not looking at the quarterbacks. We were never looking at the quarterbacks regardless. So like if you're in that type of situation and somebody comes calling because they want a Ruben Bank. I won't throw too much out there, but you know how we talked the other day on the differences of the DNs and the edge rushers and what you're looking for to fit your team schematically, right?
Mm-hmm.
If somebody calls and wants to trade up, are you really entertaining that at 4, or do you think you would stick and pick because you have the pick of the litter of, to fill your holes in your roster?
Cody, you go first on this one.
I mean, I would always entertain a trade. I mean, you always got to
Yeah,
at least have a conversation. I mean, who knows? Somebody could value Ruben Bain like they think that he could be the next Miles Garrett. We may not feel that way about him. So, they could just want to be move up and, give you a haul to get to number 4. And I would say take that haul every time.
yeah,
For
yeah.
me,
Um,
I think
I'm
that's
actually
interesting.
not a take the haul every time person. In this draft, I probably would take the haul. I don't think there's anybody who's like the clear guy, but if there was a chase or the number one wide receiver was at the level of
Jeremiah
Justin
Smith.
Jefferson,
Mm,
exactly Jeremiah Smith, for instance, I'm not trading back. But I don't
Yeah.
think there is a generational guy at that pick. I think that even a Carnell Tate is a high end wide receiver too, in my opinion, in the league, which
Really?
is valuable for
wow,
us.
that's a
But
hot
that,
take
that
right there.
that's where I see him being, honestly. But Ohio State receivers always prove people wrong. It feels like, you know what I mean. Like
Yeah,
they're never the stars. There's always another Ohio State receiver who's a little bit younger, who's a little bit better, and this, and that. And every guy that comes out, JSN wasn't the best wide receiver ever on an Ohio State team he
stud
played
now,
on.
stud.
People say that about Carnell Tate, but it's the same about JSN, and now he's a stud as well. And
Got
we got
Buka.
tore up by an Ohio State player this
Yeah.
weekend who wasn't
Mm-hmm.
the
Yeah.
best at his time. Like it's just pick the Ohio State guy. Like,
It's pretty funny because like the one that everybody was considered the best was Maserati Marvin. He seems to be the worst out of any of them.
yeah,
Dang.
seriously,
But
you're
at
exactly
least we're
right.
going out on our shield, and we're not like the Raiders, or we're just putting out
Dude.
fake injuries. And
It's crazy.
Max Crosby, just go sit down. Brock Bowers, you're going on IR. At least we're going out like men.
With dignity. Yeah.
Yeah.
Seriously, man. And I
They
get
look
it,
horrible over there.
I think it was Daniel Jeremiah that put out the tweet. I could be wrong on this, but somebody said like losing late in the season with young players who are growing is good. Losing late in the season with old veterans on expiring deals, I mean, is bad. Like, I guess you can say like winning at the end of the season might have been what it was, but like it's one of those things where it's like we're in a much better place than the Raiders, and I think it's purely because we have some young talent to look forward to.
Yes.
Like they are just,
Yes.
whoo.
We're
Even
already.
with the
They got two. I think they got the higher end talent.
Brock Bowers would be
GT
the
and
only
Bowers.
Yeah, Brock
Who?
Bowers and Genty.
Genty, you said?
Yeah, if they get the
Well,
offensive line
Genty ain't
right.
shown nothing.
He's
Well,
had a whole
I
year.
think this is a little bit of fantasy football coming out right now.
That might be true. But the guy might
I
have
think-
100-yard rush game this year. Like
And they do
he-
have Max Crosby, which, hey, Max Crosby, we'll let you play. So we
look.
can have a conversation.
Yeah, you can
I
come
mean,
here.
we need an edge.
We
Come
got the
on
cap
with Jeff.
too.
Come
Got
on
the cap.
with
We
Jeff.
pay you.
Come on.
Yeah,
with Jeff.
I like it. But yeah, man, I just thought that was interesting, man. So, and I agree with your point of, saying that, the team, I like that the place that we're in, because at the end of the year, we are showing that these young guys, they still can't get open at a consistent rate, but they are getting open, and they're running better routes. They're meshing a lot better. They're making the catches, and we'll talk about it in this game, but like, it was a lot of things that I did enjoy and see, but yeah, I want to just see progression from the young guys, and we have an extremely young team, and the development that we're seeing right now is promising. So it's pieces to build around for sure.
Yeah, and first of all, if you guys have been with us long enough, when it comes to these reactions, everybody and their mom is breaking down the plays. You've seen it. You're a Titans fan. If you're watching and going into the last week of the season, week 18, like you're a true fan. So we're not going to go through play by play. We're going to talk about a little bit of everything. And one thing I did want to talk about is some of the promising players and kind of how that translates to the holes we have on our team still. And I've got a question for you, Cody, because you are the champion of the Chimere DK group. First of all, big shout out to Chimere DK. Breaks the
Start of
NFL
season.
record for all-purpose yards.
Passing Tim Brown. Tim Brown's a pretty good player, boys.
A heck of a player, man. Heck of a player. Because most of the time, the people, I was surprised it was Tim Brown, because most of the time the people aren't like stars at at a position. Like they're normally just kind of do it all guys, similar to a Chimere DK, which leads me to my question for you, Cody. You talk about being properly slotted. You know what I mean in terms of roster construction. If you were going to slot Chimere DK and Alec Ayomaner in your wide receiver room on your ideal 2026 Titans roster, where would they be? 2 and 3? Who's 2? Who's 3? 3 and 4? What would you think?
I think that they would be, if I'm being realistic about this and I'm having no bias, I would have Chim at 3 and Ayo at 4 or even 5. Yeah, I mean, we saw it yesterday, dude. It's just like we felt like nobody could get open. I mean, Cam Ward had 4 seconds to throw on average or
The
something.
longest since
Crazy.
they've been tracking that stat.
So is that
Crazy.
that includes him like running around too? I would assume, right?
It does.
Because I mean, he was hightailing it out of there a few different times. But yeah, I mean, everybody just struggles to get open. And I really thought I was about to ask you this question about our wide receiving core. I mean, when you look at like Chimere DK and you look at Alec Ayomaner, like the people that he's throwing to right now, where do they rank in wide receivers right now? I mean, they're like in the 70s.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they're everybody's wide receiver 3, and Cam's having to make it work with these wide receiver 3s. Just, I mean, and again, he's put up over 20 points a game, 4 straight games. And last year, the year before that, like 20 points was like magic. It was like
17
no
was like
way
our
this
cap
happened.
for forever, dude. Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like 20 was a number. It felt like we'd always get to like 17.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of the point where I get to with Cam Ward. I listened to freaking Jared Stillman yesterday, and he was saying about how, that Cam Moore got outplayed by Tyler Shuck. It's like disheartening or discouraging, I think was the word he says, that he got outplayed by Tyler Shuck. And I just, Tyler Shuck also have Chris Olave to throw the ball to. He also has, he also.
Juwan Johnson had a career day.
Yeah, and about that, like, who are our corners? What are our corners rank? In the 80s, 90s?
Probably dead last. And part of that could be because they haven't even reached the threshold to be counted. Like, we're talking about people who were literally practice squad players less than a month ago. We're talking about.
There's people on the field where I'm like, the announcer was saying, I'm like, who's that? I know Kyer Elam because he used to play at Florida, but like the guy who chased down Pettis, like number 40 Hall, I've never heard of him.
Come on, no, yeah. And you know what's crazy is it's like I knew something was wrong. I thought we had a running back on the field when I saw number 40. Like I'm like, and of course I know the players, but I'm like, dog, he's number 40. Like,
who was that guy? Remember the Titans?
You know you're at the bottom of the barrel. Like the guy we picked up a week before the season off waivers pops his Achilles after being out for 4 weeks, which I hate that for him. I know he's fighting for his NFL career. I don't know if you guys kind of know that story, which I guess isn't really in the story because nobody cares about the Titans, but he was on the injury report with an Achilles injury. Like, and typically you're not on with like a strained or a sore. Like this, that doesn't really happen. Like you're normally on that report if you tore it. Like you don't have lingering Achilles injuries. That just doesn't happen much. It's not a body part it's like a patella. Like you never see a sore patella tendon somewhere. So it was pretty crazy that he was on there for 4 weeks, and in the second play of the game, he pops his Achilles. I feel bad for him, man. But
damn,
we picked him up a week before, and we were depending on him to be solid that game. Somebody who nobody wanted. We were number one in the waiver claims. The only reason why we got him, like, it's just it's one of those things that is. I wish people understood. Cam Ward did not play ping pong against Tyler Shuck. Like, it wasn't them one-on-one. He was playing against, I can't even call it like backups. Like, we're beyond that point. We let go of our three best corners, and we had three corners come in and fill in, Jalen Armour-Davis being one of them, Marcus Harris, and then Baker on the other side, Darrell Baker. And only Darrell Baker was the only one standing. So we're talking about the backup to the backup. What?
I'm looking like a star out there, bro.
With three safeties that were put on season in IR 2 weeks ago.
And they're going against Chris Olave.
What? What are we talking about?
They're going against Chris Olave, though. On top of that, like, mark that up.
And then you look on the other side of it to go to your point, Cody, and I'm going to shut up here in a second. I want you guys to take a guess how many 100-yard receiving games we've had from a single player this year. For us?
For us? Oh, not at all. Not at all.
We had one. Ridley against Arizona had 131.
Who was that?
Ridley against Arizona. That's it. Chimere DK had 93 against Indy. And since then, we haven't had a 60-yard receiver. That game was week 9.
Unbelievable.
Excuse me, week 8 when we played Indy. So since week 8, we have not had a receiver go for 60 yards. 60 yards.
Man.
Yeah, wow. I mean, Cam Wars really had to make chicken salad out of chicken dump. And he's throwing to me, you, Randy, and Mason Kinsey. That's who he's throwing.
Pretty much.
It makes no sense. And I'm doing a quick math. Since that week 8 moment, it was Io Manor. Okay, so we've had what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games. Okonkwo, Helm, Okonkwo, Helm, Okonkwo. 5 out of those 8 games, the leading receiver was a tight end. Like, what is going on, man? One of those games was Okonkwo with 29 yards. Like, oh my gosh.
29 yards.
Like, it's ridiculous, man. Like, people were I feel bad for the kid because there's 2 things that I'm sure he's fighting. His natural instinct is to try to go and create big plays. And I'm sure he's used to, like, okay, if I can extend the pocket for an extra 2 seconds, somebody's going to get open. He's looking at 2, like, got to run back the other way for another 2 more seconds. Run back the other way for another 2 more seconds.
You see him signaling.
Let me drop back here even further.
Like,
come back to me. Like, he's telling them
trying and waiting for somebody to get open. And I get it. Maybe on some of those, he could have hit a check down after the 3 or 4 seconds went through. But also, you would expect for a wide receiver to be breaking away from a cornerback after that much time. Like, when a quarterback's by that time, I want people to understand this. When they buy that time, it's the expected thing for wide receivers to gain some sort of separation from the person that's guarding them when it's that much time, because you're just freestyling. You can go wherever you want on the field. And we can't get anybody. Like, somebody talk. Yeah. I'm mad right now.
I mean, I will say though, in that darkness, right, and watching Cam do magic, that offensive line stepped up. They stepped up. You know what I mean? I mean, from watching at the beginning of the season of them having some of the worst offensive line play we've ever seen, Cam being one of the most sacked quarterbacks up until that point, they really turned it around, you know, these last few games of the season. And that is the money that I wanted to see shine. Like, this entire season, I wanted to see this offensive line play like that. J.C. Latham got his. I see a couple penalties, but okay, it's okay. He still played good. I think Kevin Zeitler, he got hurt towards the end of the game, but I mean, they all played pretty well together, and that is promising. Like, we gotta take that momentum into next year when we get more pass catchers. But like, that is the main thing that's missing. I mean, great job by Chig making a play out of nothing. I mean, you know, keeping his balance and hauling one for a touchdown. I mean, we needed that. That's some of the exciting plays that we feel like Cam can make and is capable of. And that's just some of the type of explosives we do want to see on the team. But man, these receivers have to get open, man. Like, it's pretty bad to watch. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like Cam is doing what he can do, but we just need the other pieces to be there to help him succeed. I don't know, fellas.
I mean, I remember one play where I know Chim was going across, and it looked like Cam may have missed him by like half a step, where if he would have just hit him, I mean, Chim would have been running in stride and probably would have scored a touchdown.
Well, yeah, that one he overthrew just a little bit to the right of the field.
It was a little to the outside, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm just over here looking at the betting odds for just offensive rookie of the year, just kind of just grazing as y'all are talking. And Tedero McMillan's the favorite right now, minus 110. They got Jackson Dart at plus 1,300 and Tyler Shuck at plus 105. Y'all like to guess what Cam Ward's odds are for offensive rookie of the year? Jackson Dart's plus 1,300, by the way. He threw for 33 yards in the game.
Man,
take a gander.
Me, man.
Plus 30,000.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Wow.
He's below Harold Fannin. He's behind Aston Genty. And he's behind R.J. Harvey.
Oh, man.
This stuff to me, man, it just doesn't make much sense. Gosh, man, that just made me so mad.
It's crazy.
Like,
listen, I've been as big as like on his, his stat lines and everything too, that, he's kind of struggled. But this past month, dude, I mean, he has been on fire. He's thrown 2 touchdowns every game. It's like 8 touchdowns to 1 pick.
Yes.
He's taken all the progressive steps, and he's getting, I mean, little to no recognition about it. I mean, I get it's a year-long award, but Jackson Dart threw for 33 yards in a game, and he's concussed.
He played the whole game.
Every game. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's a frustrating thing, man, because I want to let's just have a Cam Ward conversation since we're going there. Cam Ward, this game, he wasn't perfect. No, he wasn't perfect. I will say
it was a tale of two halves.
Yeah, it really was. And I'm not gonna say it was all on him. I think it was a lot of factors that played into that. But I will say this: first of all, his deep ball over the last 3 weeks has been much improved. Like, even the one that was a DPI on DK, it would have been a walk-in touchdown right in the breadbasket if he didn't get held. He hit another one that DK actually caught a little bit earlier in the game. Like, he had some really nice on-target throws down the field, which is something we were really hoping for. Mason Kinsey was
that Kinsey one was fire.
Like, dude, he's really shown. People are like, you say I can't throw deep outside the numbers. Watch this. That's what I felt like he said, and he's done a really good job with that. What still needs to be cleaned up is protecting the football And it's just so funny that coming to the season, I would have thought that he put the ball more in harm's way in terms of interceptions being created. I'm sure he had a couple that could have been intercepted, but actual interceptions, I thought that would have been the issue because the basis on the playing style he has. The fumbles was more as a surprise to me. This game, the strip sack fumble that we didn't recover.
It wasn't a strip. He just straight up took it.
Yeah, that was and I'm going to put some blame on Cam, of course, because it's his job when the ball's in his hands to make sure it stays with our team no matter what. I will also say this.
Can I say
that
it?
play was a mixture of both tackles because I don't know if you guys saw, but the edge rusher beats J.C. Latham real quick with a spin move, right in Cam's face, flushes Cam out. Dan Moore actually wasn't doing a terrible job. If it was a pocket where
he got cooked on that play,
he was actually running him around the arc. So if J.C. Latham didn't get beat so quick, he could step up in the pocket and the pressure would have never touched him. But because he had to get flushed out deep and outside, that's how he was able to get to him. Now, don't get me wrong. I still think Dan Moore needs to maintain some contact, whatever. But Dan Moore actually didn't, I'm going to get yelled at for saying this, but didn't quote unquote lose the rep. He blocked his man. He had him running the arc. If Cam Moore was in the pocket, he would have just been moved right around him.
He could have just climbed up in the pocket.
Through. Yeah, but he didn't have that opportunity because the spin move happened and the pressure ended up coming from not technically the middle, but towards the middle. So he flushed himself to the outside. But he's got to protect the football at the end of the day. The one he had a little bit later in the game trying to create something, I know we got it back, but we've got to protect the football. And J.C. Latham, the play before that strip sack for a touchdown, we were in 3rd and 3, holding, come back 3rd and 13. Now he's got to be in a position to pass the ball. Those little things do add up, but Cam's got to protect the ball better. That's one of the big knocks I've got to give him for this season is protect the ball. I didn't think that was going to be an issue in terms of fumbles, but it is.
Yeah. I mean, at the start of the game too, I mean, they were mauling folks, the offensive line. I remember texting in the group, I was just like, I love when offensive line are just like pushing around the defensive line. And that's what we were doing. And that's when Cam Ward has best success. I mean, I went and looked at the numbers in the first half. Cam Ward was 11 of 15 for 73% completion percentage, 146 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. He had the 43-yard connection where Chika Conquo just absolutely baptized that one guy and sent him into the shadow realm on the way into the end zone. And then he had the quick one to Io Manor. And then it kind of felt like, the wheels kind of started falling off a little bit in the second half. Cam Ward was 10 of 25, 40%, 105 yards. No touchdowns, no picks or anything like that. Got pressure a lot more. So how do y'all take into that? I don't think Tony Pollard ran the ball as effectively in the second half either. So I think that kind of goes into this whole story that Cam Ward needs the running game. But Cam Ward also had a chance to tie the game when we punched that ball out from Dante Pettis in the end zone and got a gimme. And unfortunately, we were unable to capitalize. But what y'all think of Cam Ward's second half?
I think the second half stats are actually more skewed because of how many throwaways. I think he had 7 throwaways in the second half, and they were truly either instant pressure or nobody open. And there was a couple times he held the ball for like 10 seconds and had to finally throw the ball away. So I think that's skewing it. PFF has him slated for 4 throwaways, and that's one of those things where it's like, golly. But I'm not going to take everything away from it. I think that we just got stagnant, man. They started sending pressure and playing straight up man to man, and we couldn't win quickly in man to man. And that's just the end of the game right there. And I don't know why we got away from the run so quickly. Like before we were even losing, it felt like we didn't lean on the run like we were. And Spears got more carries in the second half where I feel like it should have been Pollard because he was running well. I mean, he had 85 yards. I think he could have very easily eclipsed the 100-yard mark again if we just said, you know what, we're going to lean on them. But I could have been complaining the other way if that happened and saying, hey, we got to put the ball in Cam Ward's hands to put the game away. But, it was frustrating to watch because you're right. I felt like we just let them hang around. We could never get past that 6-point mark. So many times we're like 1 first down away from getting in field goal range for Joey Sly, who had made a 50-plus a couple times, I think, in that game, at least once. Like, we needed to get just – I feel like that would have changed the game so much, but we just couldn't do it, man.
Yeah.
And I don't know whose shoulders that falls on because, to be honest with you, I didn't see Cam, like, missing a lot of open people, missing a bunch of throws, doing unnecessary things in the second half. I feel like the Saints said, we're just going to blitz the heck out of you and play man-to-man and see what happens from there. What was your perspective on that, Cody? And then Sauce jump in.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I mean, we fired off so good. I mean, we started out up 13-0. I love the aggressive play on fourth down. That's how Chick got that 43-yard touchdown. I love that play call. I thought that was an awesome play call. The Saints responded with that Chase Young touchdown, made it 13-10. And I mean, the next drive we drove right back down and made it 20-10. We went up 20-10 at halftime.
Yeah.
And it just maybe this team got a little comfortable or whatever. We're playing a 5-win team. We're up 2 scores on them. I don't know, but it kind of felt like Kellen Moore just like looked at Tyler Shuck and was just like, "Look, you've got Chris Olave. He doesn't. They got Daryl Baker or whoever else at corner. We're just gonna take advantage of this the rest of the game," and we just couldn't stop them.
Yeah.
And we let Audric Estime get 94 yards rushing. He now has 135 yards rushing for the
Who
entire
missed
team.
that tackle? That bothered the heck out of me. Who missed that tackle?
I think it was
to
one
where
of the
he went
corners.
around the
well,
edge.
The first
and
one
housed
was, I think Jalen Harrell missed him in the backfield.
Oh my
and then,
God.
it's gone.
It kills me, man. Like now that's when they put the dagger in us. Now for me, the defense couldn't stop a nosebleed. I mean, we were lacking. To me, we were lacking in talent on both sides of the ball. And it truly just came down to can the guys get open and man to man. And I think when they took a look at that and we kept the game close, they were just like, I think our guys are more talented. Like, go out there and beat them. Like, force them to beat you in man coverage. And they just lined up and they rushed their 4, sat back. And, Cam did what he could do to extend plays. I mean, he had one of those where he converted on fourth down. We were driving the ball down. That knee hit the ground.
God,
dude. To Tajay, that would have been a magical play.
That would have been crazy. He already had some crazy plays in the game, but that, horizontal.
That was a last second check down.
And we got inside the 20 on that too. Like, I would have, with the 2-minute warning coming up,
the momentum would have switched with that.
How the game ended with that right there, man. That would have been awesome.
Yeah. The momentum would have definitely switched with that. Now that was a turnover on downs on that fourth down play. To me, that was an important play of the game. Like, that was just on one of those officiated calls. But when it came down to it, it's just our guys got outmatched, outplayed. You know what I'm saying? It's just simple as that. And that's where it comes back to, like, we just need one of those alphas, one of those guys that just have that sure hands that in those times and needs in the game, either his play can up the level of the other guys that they can just build around, or, just be able to make a difference-making play. I mean, like on the defensive side of the ball, you have people like Jefferson that can just make a play that could change the trajectory of the game. We need a guy like that on offense. And, I don't know if that's through running back. I mean, it's kind of funny. This ain't another team's show, but watching Derrick Henry go for 4 touchdowns and, like, carry his team.
God bless.
It makes me miss that. You know what I'm saying? Like, in those times and needs in the game, you just give it to me. Just give it to me. I'm going to get it done. Like, we need a guy like that. You know what I mean?
Give it to 22.
Yeah. And I honestly think that's just how the Saints beat us. They just outmatched us talent-wise. They gave it to 12. They gave it to Chris Olave, and hey, the rest was history. Now Tyler Shook looks like the hero.
And what frustrated me too, and I get why he was doing this, I do, but we were in off coverage so much, and it felt like they were just able to get these chunk plays where it's like Chris Olave catches it 6 yards deep. He'll go dive forward, 11-yard gain. You know what I mean?
Yes.
He'll catch one a little bit further down. The next, it's Juwan Johnson in the middle of the field, 14, 15-yard gain, where they're wide open, like not even
butt naked.
Wide
open. It's so frustrating watching that happen, man. But at the same time, I'm like, they're playing with literally every backup you can think of, man. And that's the frustrating part is, like, you've got one quarterback who's able to sit back. And don't get me wrong, I think Tyler Shuck played a really good game. he's played really well these last 3 or 4 weeks, and really since he's got the start, and he made some good throws, but he didn't have to be Superman. You know what I mean? Like Cam Ward has to be Superman if we're going to win a game. He has to be. And Tyler Shuck doesn't have to do that. He just has to take what's available. Okay,
Yes.
you're standing right in front of me. Cool. He's wide open. I see him 10 yards off. My dad could come in and make that throw. Like, it's just, it's frustrating, man.
Let's just
It's
flip these roles
frustrating.
real quick.
Yes.
Like, oh my goodness, man.
Like,
Just
let us
imagine if he had
let
some
Cam Ward have a
receivers.
Chris Olave.
Now, I'll say this and we'll kind of wrap it up. I know we're getting a little long-winded here, but thinking about where Borgo and Brinker come from, I have been kind of racking my brain on how we're going to address receiver. Why do you say that, Lim? I say that because of this. Between both of those teams, with the times they were with their guys, so let's think back to since Patrick Mahomes has essentially been in Kansas City. And let's think about all the receivers for Green Bay. The best receiver from both of those teams during that time period will be Tyreek Hill. After that, you know what I'm saying? Like we're talking about guys who are on the same level of an Alec Pierce who's going to be in free agency, a Romeo Doubs who's going to be in free agency. Like, I'm curious to see how they approach it, just given where they've come from, where they haven't necessarily gone and swung for the fences at wide receiver. I haven't seen any of them do it. The Packers just draft the second or third round receiver every year and try to replace somebody who's leaving. Okay, cool. Romeo Doubs is on the contract year. Great. Here comes Golden. You know what I mean, on the backside. And then the Chiefs seem to do the same. But what are your thoughts there, Randy?
I was going to ask, so like, was Brinker, I don't remember when Brinker left. Was he around when they drafted Devontae Adams in Green Bay?
That's what I was wondering.
I think that might have been.
Because if he's
before
there,
his
then
time.
you have your 2 ones right there. Now, yeah, you may not have the template of continuing to have these guys in a revolving door of having alpha wide receivers. If he was there during that period, they both have had errors of having a alpha.
He wasn't in a prominent position with the Packers until 2021.
He'll tell you that, hey, we won Super Bowls, though.
I know, I know what it takes.
I don't know what year Devontae Adams got drafted, but I'll just say this. Brinker was a scouting intern in 2009, a scouting assistant from 2010 to 2011, and then spent 5 or 6 years as a pro scout up until 2017. And again, in 2018, he became the assistant director of pro scouting and salary cap.
So maybe he scouted him.
So it's one of those things that he probably scouted him or whatever. But even when you think of that, Randy, like we're talking about one guy from each team with a total of about 14 seasons, and the 7-8 seasons Patrick Mahomes and Jordan Love / whoever have been there. We're talking about one guy. And both of those teams lost those guys in the last 4 or 5 years. Lost Hill, 3-4 years ago now to Miami. The same time period essentially for Devontae Adams being gone. And even with that, they haven't gone out and just pursued a number one guy, even though their teams were void of having a true number one target. So,
let me ask you.
Yeah, but they weren't voided of a true number 2 either.
Yeah. They didn't go from 1 to 3 or under.
Yeah, no,
So
I
it's
agree.
like,
I'm just saying, I'm just curious on how I'm not saying that they're not going to do anything. I'm not saying that at all.
Yeah.
But I'm just curious on how they're going to approach it, because I don't know if in my head I'm like, okay, cool, get a Pierce, get a Dobbs, and if you still want to get the guy at number 4, go get the guy. But I'm curious, if they get one, are they going to do the other? Or if they don't do anything in free agency, can we just assume it's going to be that, and he's going to be expected to be our number one no matter what?
if they take that route, I would be highly disappointed. Now, I feel like the outliers in that particular situation is you have Patrick Mahomes and you have Aaron Rodgers in those eras, right? Those are 2 outliers that where no matter what, these guys can wield their teams to a win. Now, if they look at Cam Ward with those same traits or same abilities, to be determined, but you also see in real time with limited talent, and that's no disrespect to Chimere DK or Illick and these guys that's developing, Gunnerham, so on and so forth. But you obviously see, even though Cam Ward has the traits to be elite, he still needs the pieces. So I still think you still have to, like, those are completely just different scenarios. Like, you have so much of coaching staff of how those organizations are ran. Obviously, we are lacking that. That is the reason why you had to clear house. So I don't know if I would like them to take that type of approach. You go get the talent if it's there, buddy. You better fill those slots. Let me tell you this, buddy. ISO on me.
I mean,
if you think
imagine
we
this,
can walk in there with 1-1 and 3 threes, buddy.
Like, I don't think, like, I truly think this is what's going to happen. This is my firm opinion on this. I think they're going to get Alec Pierce or something like that if he even becomes available. And I think if Orville Reese is the top player on their board and it's him and Tate, they'll take Reese and try to solidify that edge position. And because unless you go with like Carnell Tate or you believe Tyson's that guy, even though he's got an injury history, there are no number ones in free agency. Period. They don't hit the market.
Yeah.
So it makes me question, like, where's our number one going to come from if we don't go wide receiver? And, I'm curious where Reese and Bain and Tate and Tyson, where they all fall on their board, because I could see them thinking, okay, we think that the next Micah Parsons is Orville Reese, and that's where we're going. And I'm just curious on, how we'll react to that.
Well, I'm wondering if we could go trade for like a wide receiver or something.
Oh, I was just about to say that. I was about to say, now I know these guys have put in the atmosphere that they want to build through the draft, right? And that's fine and dandy. But do you think in this offseason, maybe, with these teams, we see a lot of teams that's in uncertainty right now, whether if it's through coaching staffs, franchise quarterbacks, you name it. It may be some teams that may be taking a look at their roster and saying, hey, it may be time for a reset, rebuild type of thing. So do you think they go and knock on some of these doors and just poke and prime and see, hey, is a Waddle available? Is it I don't know. I'm just trying to think
Brian Thomas Jr.
Brian Thomas Jr. Some of these guys that just may not be in favorable places. I mean, we do have the cap space coming up. I know they may not want to tamper much with the draft, picks, but if it's an elite talent, maybe you got to do what you got to do. If
I personally don't think elite talent comes available at wide receiver, not even for trade.
What about a corner? I mean, we need some.
Yeah, we need it all. We need it all.
That's what's crazy, man. Like, I will be cool if we bring in Tariq Woolen. Not like cool, like, oh, everything's solved, but like, I would love us to bring in a Woolen. Alontae Taylor would play really good for the Saints. The Saints are like -10 in the cap space because of what they've done with their cap the last few years. But like, bringing in Alontae Taylor, bringing in Tariq Woolen, like, I think something is going to be patched with duct tape. And I pray it's not wide receiver. But at the end of the day, something is getting patched with duct tape. There's no corner that's worth being drafted in the top 10. Caleb Downs is a safety. And he's versatile, don't get me wrong, but I don't think we're going to go that route. I think it's going to be edge or wide receiver. And it's just one of those things where I just think that we're going to all have to temper our expectations of what happens in free agency. We're not going to go pick up Dobbs and Pierce and draft the guy number one. Like, we could potentially be settling for, Dobbs and Pierce, if they want to go play for winners or one of them goes back to their team. Like, if those two aren't available, it could be a Olameus Zacchaeus and somebody. Like, we could be in a situation where.
Don't you put that on us.
Don't you put that on us.
I know. I just want to be realistic, man. Like,
Caleb,
there's a real situation where nobody of value is available. Just think about this last free agency cycle. Like, there wasn't a huge name we went to go get. Even when we got Calvin Ridley, like, that was like luck that happened, and he just happened to pop available and we went to get it. We can pray for that to happen again, but that doesn't happen very often. So I'm just trying to temper our expectations for like how big of a jump we can take. Do I think we can come out with a wide receiver too, no matter how we do it, free agency or the draft? I think so. But if we don't get a wide receiver, if it's not Carnell Tate that turns into a 1 or Tyson that turns into a 1, there's a very real possibility that we come in with a couple 2s and a 3 and a possible, like in spades. I don't know.
Gosh. I wonder if it could be a splash in there, and somebody that you probably think would not be movable gets moved, like a Marvin Harrison Jr. or something. You know what I mean? I'm just curious.
The thing with those guys to me are just like, this is what I think about. Even with Brian Thomas Jr., man, like,
I say go
These
get
are
Marvin
people
Harrison
who are
if you
just
can.
they're just shots in the dark. Like, I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying, like, you talk about a bona fide stud.
You know
You
what's
know who that
interesting
guy
too?
is?
Just like at least a thought. I mean, and I have no idea what his contract situation, but this type of player archetype that's kind of you probably have to overpay him a little bit. But like a Michael Wilson,
Mhm.
who is
Mhm.
when he gets his targets, he's putting up numbers. And he can get open and everything. I mean, again, I don't know his contract situation.
Is his contract expiring? Like, can you look
I
up his
literally just said
contract
I have no
situation?
idea. You see,
Yeah, yeah. No, I was saying with
No.
Liam. You know, he's the fat guy.
No,
I wanted
he's
Liam to
not
get on it.
He's not in that list of free agent wide receivers that I've been looking
God,
at.
oh,
but like
you know,
some of
it's
that
like
archetype,
it is
like,
that tier though, the Jacoby Myers tier, the Michael Wilson tier, that like I would be fine with that. They're at least upgrades, you know. Like, let's start building
we
the
just
room.
need a little more in that room.
We need more. Like, and I do think we can get away with a wide receiver room of. I know I've been saying these names repeatedly, but let's say we go get Alec Pierce and we get a guy in the draft. That's a wide receiver room that's serviceable for Cam Ward to really make some things happen. Like, I'm not trying to say we have to have a guy, but in terms of having a number one bona fide stud, if it doesn't happen in the draft, nigga, it ain't happening. I said it.
Hey man, second round. Listen, when it comes to evaluating some of these wide receiver rooms, I'm not giving up on them. I hear you, Lim. I'm not giving up. So I think you can go and get. I don't think this draft is top loaded with wide receiver talent. Obviously, I think this is a heavy edge class, and I think it's plenty of wide receivers, but it's difference in tiers of those guys. So I think, you know, in these later rounds, you can take later swings. You know what I mean? And try to fill in this room. But man, like we can't go out there with that offensive performance again this year. Like that cannot be the position with the duct tape.
Tyler Lockett's available coming up.
Bye.
So looking at the list, these are kind of like the guys listed in the top 10 order. Mike Evans, Christian Kirk, Deebo Samuel, and I'm not going to say top 10, but this is how it's listed on here. Deebo Samuel, Diami Brown, Tutu Atwell, Thielen, Marquise Brown, Juwan Jennings, Khalif Raymond, Rashid Shaheed, which will probably be re-signed, Noah Brown, Keenan Allen, you know, DeAndre Hopkins of the world, Josh Reynolds, Jahan Dotson. Like, we're not talking about some studs.
Juwan Jennings would be interesting.
Juwan Jennings would be interesting.
I take Rashid Shaheed.
I just don't. He's going to be available. I think they're going to re-sign him over there. That's the big thing. I think Mike Evans re-signs and retires.
You think Juwan Jennings wants to come home?
Well, I can see Juwan Jennings being the guy that we take a swing at. His market value is listed at 18.3 a year is what it's listed at on Spotrac, which we've got the money, so I'm not tripping. Rashisha, he's set to make 15 is what it looks like. Pickens is the interesting one. I wish that he would let go. He would be a $30 million a year guy. Alec Pierce is looked at as a $20 million a year guy. And then outside that, just the list just continues to get worse. Romeo Dobbs, a $12 million a year guy, which I would take that. But yeah,
we might have to stop ignoring Ridley. You know, when we're evaluating the room as a whole, because it does frighten me more when we don't mention Ridley's name. So maybe they do look at hey, Ridley, we paid you this, man. You have to make sure you're healthy, get in there and do your thing. And yeah, we go get one more receiver, and then that's our room. You know what I mean? But it's just like, if you take that swing on that receiver, it's got to be the right swing. Like, that guy has to be that guy, like up and coming. Like, you have to really hit. You know what I mean? Because
I make George Pickens the highest paid receiver in football.
Like, this is the thing.
He cannot resist. You can do that, and we'll give you free ski mask and white women.
Right. Shiesties included.
Everything you want. Shiesties and white
keep
women.
Keep his room loaded.
We good. We good, dog. We good.
You know, and you know what I think of open up this wide receiver room is because, like, when you evaluate Calvin Ridley, and I'll try to wrap this up quick. When you evaluate Calvin Ridley, the position that we're forcing him to play due to the money that we're paying him is not his bread and butter position. He's not a guy you line up to be pressed. Like, He's having to face press man all day. No point. Hey, shut up. Get you some of that merch too. Look at that. Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Shout out Kevin Wyatt.
Yeah, yes, sir. But yeah, man, that's not one of those guys that you line up to face press man. You know what I mean? You get him in space and he operates off of with space. He's a creator in space and try to beat you to the catch point with his speed. He's just not a contested catch guy. You know what I'm saying? And so we need a guy to line up in that position, which we thought was Illich, but he can develop into that. But just we need a physical receiver that can get to the catch point and make those sure catches, and that will free up Calvin Ridley and then the rest of the team, and then our wide receivers issues will be solved for now. It's just we gotta get Ridley in space, move him around. Yeah, like that's not gonna work.
Yeah, I don't know if he's gonna be here.
I don't think you can be doing that unless he just wants out.
I mean, it literally takes him to like October every year to like get in the form. He has like this
less about
ridiculous
him as a player and more about what's available. If we do keep him, I think that's what it'll be more about. I think it may be like a late. I mean, we don't have to make a decision on him at any point in time. Like, you know what I mean? Like he's not an upcoming free agent where we have to do it. So I think they may just see what do we get? What do we get? Okay, can we cut him before the June 1st period or after the June 1st period, whatever it is, and then cut him then. Like I think they're going to really let everything play out. Free agency, draft. Okay, cool. We don't need him. Let's get him out of here. That's what I think. Or just package him and Will Levis. Come get him, y'all. Hey,
Will Levis is available if anybody want to shop.
Yeah, I do think we're going to trade him for a 4th or a 5th round pick. Is what the scuttlebug has been. 4th or 5th round pick for Will Levis.
Really, a 4th?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 4th or 5th.
Crazy.
What we get from Malik Willis? A 7th?
5th,
pennies, like pennies.
We might have got it. Was it a 7th? Was it that?
I think it was a 7th.
Hold on.
I think it was pennies to Green Bay.
It was a
little bit of nothing.
He's looking pretty good. I can't lie.
He's out there balling.
He is balling.
God. Vrabel's out there got people just clinching. You know what I'm saying? I'm sick of it. And screw ESPN,
it was a 7th round pick.
We got a 7th for him.
Y'all see ESPN trying to disrespect us, making those posts with like, how do you guys feel with Derrick Henry, AJ Brown?
Yeah, they try to say, can we win the AFC South if our team was Malik Willis, Derrick Henry, AJ Brown, and then Mike Vrabel as a coach? And
nasty word. Nasty.
Yeah, probably.
Probably for real. Probably. We might be back if we had them boys.
It be down here balling.
It's you, Daddy. When are you coming back home? Oh gosh, man. Meet me at the crossroads. And I'm gonna miss everybody. I'm gonna miss everybody.
Hey, now. Look at it. Hold the while, bro. Hold the while.
Hurts.
All right, man. So we just spent 50 minutes not talking about the Saints and Titans. We just wanted to have a Titans talk, man. You know how we do when we get on here. We never know what direction we're going to go. But let me tell you one thing before we get out of here. First of all, like, comment, subscribe. Do all those things. We need you to do those things.
67,000.
This offseason, we have got a series coming for you of shows, events, series within the offseason series that we're really excited about. Stay with us. We're not going anywhere. We want to be a place you can lean on for news, for coverage, whatever it is, and just come talk barbershop talk with us too. One thing we are looking forward to, we're going to be going live a couple times throughout the summer. We would love to hear from you. We're going to do one right before the draft, do one before free agency, and just hear, what do you think the Titans should do? We want to hear your opinions. We're going to take those opinions down. And heck, if you were right, maybe we just submit that to the Titans and get you paid. Hey, what's going on? But no, for real, I would just love, man, to hear from you guys, and we want you guys to be included and involved in the shows that we do. Thank you guys so much for spending some time with us. Before we drop off today, Cody, Sauce, any closing words for today?
I just hope the press man box. What's the press man? No, we're the press box, not press man box. Press box. Press man box. Y'all just have a happy new year. Okay? Enjoy the holidays. Call yourself an Uber if you're having too much fun. I know I will be.
Please be safe.
Yeah. Do a couple keg stands in honor of us.
Hey. What up, Sauce? What you got?
I just want to tell the people, man, thank y'all, man. This is our first season covering the team throughout the entire season. So we appreciate everybody that has been rocking in with us and subscribing, sharing to their friends. It's been an amazing year, man, but we're going to improve the product. We're going to continue to evolve and expand in what we're doing. And I promise you, you're going to want to stay tapped in with us or what we're doing in this offseason. It's going to be special. Like, Liam is talking candidly on it, but we got some fire on the way. So, man, just stay tapped in with us. We're going to be having a lot of fun. If you got some Titans buddies or you got some guys that has the Titans as their second team, you know, it's really their first team, but they like to, you know, jump from team to team, tell them to come on over and check out what we're doing, man. Like, we got some really, really cool stuff on the way. I look forward to
Like, golly, bro, give me the mic back.
Cut that out, man. Cut that out.
I'm muting him, y'all. I'm muting him. He gonna tell y'all everything.
Bleep that out. You're going to cut this out. You can catch this part, but yeah, we got some cool stuff coming, man. Just know that.
Oh,
And by the way, he ruins Christmas for everybody too.
I'm
He
the
gives up the
Grinch, baby.
presents 3 weeks early.
I'm the Grinch.
man, isn't that crazy? You know what's crazy? My son at a birthday party, Randy came. He tells my son, "Hey, you know what I got in that box, right?" And told him everything that he got. He couldn't even open his present, bro.
And
like,
then
he
to give
told
him
what was in the
batteries
box.
for the present.
He didn't even get him batteries on top of that. Hey, but tell your daddy got to run to Dollar General. on the way.
Batteries
What?
aren't included.
Like, just crazy, man. But look, thank you guys so much for spending some time with us. We always do appreciate it. Look, off season's right around the corner, and you know what's
right
right
around the corner.
behind that? Coaching search. We're gonna have a coach really, really soon, man. This stuff heats up quick, so be ready. We'll be breaking down those candidates with you guys. But anyways, talking to you soon. We're out of
Happy
here.
New
Freshman.
Year.
One last week.
Yes,
Peace.
Christmas.